know it ain't minute like six though. Never need an intro. Yeah, even through the talk and all the chatter, I could show them that I know my family matters like a Winslow. Outdoors smoking Indo.
What is going on? Welcome back to CGS. Y'all know me by now. Today, y'all haven't heard my voice like this in a little bit. That's fine though. Don't be concerned. Today, last time you heard my voice, I was doing all the NFL season predictions. As I'm recording this video, it is Friday, one day before the NFL wildcard kicks off. You'll be seeing this on Saturday morning before the first wildcard games start. So I thought I'd come back, give my playoff predictions, and in my other videos that I did, I gave my predictions for every NFL team, and I gave them a realistic record, a ceiling record, and a floor record. It's pretty self-explanatory, but of course, the floor record was what, if everything went right for the team, injuries didn't slow down, if they were on momentum, that's what their ceiling. Of course, if everything went wrong for them, that's their floor record. And I also gave a realistic record, which was what I thought the team would go. Did that for every single NFL team a few months before the season started. Now that the season's over, I thought I'd come back and see just how well I did with these predictions. And it wasn't good. That's all I could really say. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. As I said before, a few months before the NFL season started, I made these 8 videos on your screen right now, predicting every team's NFL record. Of course, I didn't expect to be 100% right, but I thought I'd do a little better than what I actually did, right? Out of 32 NFL teams, I got 3 teams' records correct, and that was the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Cleveland Browns. Honestly, I'll take that because I feel like it's just so hard predicting exactly how good a team's gonna be based off simple offseason moves, coaching changes, and drafting, because a lot of shit can happen during the season that you won't you're not really thinking about. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I'm I'll take a 3 out of 32. I failed the test out of if this was a 32 question test, I failed the fuck out of it. But 9.5% correction on my first time guessing. I mean, I'll be better at this in the future, however. But shout out to the Chiefs, Ravens, and Browns for helping me out there. And if you don't believe me, you can go back and watch these videos. And I also have these 2 screenshots right here showing what I predicted for the team and what the team actually went. No reason to lie about it, obviously, but I just want just for clarification, per se. But yeah, like I said, there were a lot of surprises and a lot of disappointments this season. So I also wanted to just talk about that a little bit before I got into the playoff predictions and how I think this postseason is gonna shape out, right? So we're gonna start off with my top 5 disappointments of this year. First is the Saints. Really had my hopes up this offseason, and that was just dumb of me as a Saints fan. I shouldn't have got my hopes up. Sean Payton's loss was really big on us, and I'm not even gonna begin to blame injuries because coaching was so bad and everybody just played bad all around. Yeah, injuries played a big part, but we had people thinking that Jameis was an MVP candidate. We had people thinking that we'd easily clear the South in the NFC. Not the case. Number 2 is the Colts. You Colts fans pissed me off. I vouched for y'all, said y'all get 10 wins, and y'all called me crazy because y'all thought that was too low. And y'all didn't even get 5. Never again. Never again. Never again. That's a video for another time though, Colts fans. What the Colts slander vid will come soon enough. I promise you that. Next team, I got the Raiders. I had high expectations for this team. With Devontae's arrival, I thought Carr would, play, but he didn't play bad necessarily. I do believe it's a coaching problem. It's an owner problem. That they did give up on they gave up on Carr a little too soon, in my opinion. But Carr could have played better. Yes, he could have. But their defense could have also stepped up way better after all these acquisitions they made in the offseason. Overall, mediocre year, of course. Broncos, really, really disappointed. I had low expectations for this team regardless. In my other prediction video saying they only go 6-11, but I didn't think they'd be as bad as I thought they would be. It was just really disappointing to see. And in the last 5, I have the Rams, defending Super Bowl champions. I thought they'd come out even better than they did last year, especially with, Allen Robinson coming back. Their defense looking better. But, at the end of the day, they just, they couldn't defend shit. they sucked this year. And it's surprising to see. I don't love to see it, but I do like seeing. I don't like repeat championships. I'm glad the Rams aren't be in contention because I don't like seeing repeats. But top five surprises. And my number one is the Giants. If y'all remember in the NFC NFC East prediction video, I said the Giants would go 1-15 and they might go 0 and no, I said 1-16 and they might go 0 and 17. I look stupid because of that. The Giants proved me wrong. They proved a lot of people wrong. Making the playoffs as well as the sixth seed. It was impressive season for the Giants. Daniel Jones fixed his turnover problem. It seems like Saquon, in contention for comeback player of the year. They just look good all around. Their defense really stepped up in a lot of ways this season as well. So hats off to the Giants. Jaguars in the number two for most surprising. This team fought hard as hell all season, and it was really, really good to see Trevor Lawrence thrive. It's good to see Zay Jones do good. Marvin Jones was doing good. Jamal Agnew doing good. Christian Kirk finally had over 1,000 yards receiving. A lot of people questioned him and his ability. I did as well. I'm one of those people who questioned his ability to be a receiver that got paid a lot. But I do think he proved himself a little bit this year with that getting that big deal. And I think he was a top target in Jacksonville this year. So hats off to Christian Kirk. You proved me wrong. Lions fought hard as hell as well. Ultimately didn't make the playoffs, but ending with a 9-8 record, knocking out the Packers in the last week of the season to not let them make the playoffs, even though the Lions playoffs hopers already did. This team fought hard all year, and it's crazy to think that a week 3 game between the Seahawks and Lions decided that final wild card spot. I do think the Lions will be even better, but yeah, that's just it. Steelers at number 4. I really do think the Steelers they had a rough first half of the season, but when they brought in Kenny Pickett, he was struggling a lot. And then that back half of the season, they just played so well. We're able to get a 9-8 record. Tomlin still has never had a losing season, even though I predicted that he would this year. He proved why he's a great head coach. He's a Hall of Fame head coach. What he did with that team was excellent and it was great. For surprising was the Vikings. Just about like how well they would play in the first half. It wasn't really. What only surprised me about the Vikings is their record. They have the worst point differential in the NFL, but somehow are the 3 seed in the playoffs. It's so weird to me that how that works. But they did surprise me. I thought they are pretty mediocre still. Don't get it twisted, but they played better than what I expected them to play. And that's really about it. With the whole records thing, there was a lot that I was like off by one, and that kind of like irks me a little bit because that could have been so good. I would have had more, but at the end of the day, L's are L's, wins are wins. I'll take my 3 for 32, and yeah, we'll just go on from there. All right, now let's go ahead get these playoff predictions out the way. As you know, first the 2 top seeded teams in the NFC and AFC get a bye week from the wild card, and these teams are the Eagles in the NFC, Chiefs in the AFC. So for the super wild card weekend that you're about to see this day on this, like I said, this post on Saturday, the day of the first 2 games. We got the Dolphins versus Bills, Ravens versus Bengals, Chargers versus Jags, Seahawks versus 49ers, Giants versus Vikings, and Cowboys versus the Buccaneers. Let's get all the blowouts out of the way first, right? Bills are gonna completely obliterate the Dolphins without Tua. I just feel like that's a simple game. The Bills are gonna win that easily. Bills have something to prove this year, so they're gonna go far. Bengals against the Ravens, no Lamar. We don't really know his situation. Says he's hurt. People are saying other things, but I don't trust Tyler Huntley in a playoff game. 49ers versus Seahawks. The Niners are gonna just completely blow Seattle out of the water. Those are really all the games I think blowouts are going to happen. Now, for the close games, I'm really hoping the Chargers and Jaguars game is so good. I really want to see a shootout. No Mike Williams on the Chargers that day, so Justin Herbert's going to be missing one of his best targets. I do think he's able to. Justin Herbert wins his first playoff game though. This Jags team is very young, very inexperienced when it comes to playoffs. Justin Herbert is as well, but I just feel like the Chargers are more equipped to win this game than the Jaguars are as of now. The Giants versus Vikings. I do think the Giants will upset the Vikings, and the Vikings fraudulent side will finally show. As I said, the Vikings weren't really all that impressive during the season, and which was why they were so surprising because of how of what their record was. So I do think the Giants squeak out a win, and I'd say, and even though the Bucks are 8-9, I do believe that they beat the Cowboys. That last game against the Commanders for the Cowboys just wasn't good. Dak didn't play well. Zeke didn't play well. Tony Pollard didn't play well. That defense didn't play well, and it showed. And you know that's really a bad game when you're going into the playoffs. You know, again, and especially against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. So unfortunately, I think the Cowboys show their true colors once again. Fall another one and done year. And so now, well, now that all these teams advance, what will it look like? So then AFC and NFC divisional rounds, you know, the lowest seed will play the number one seed, and the other two teams will go at it. This is how it would look if my predictions were right. Chargers versus Chiefs, Bengals versus Bills, Giants versus Eagles, and the Buccaneers versus the 49ers. Okay, then. Now, all of these can be great games if each team comes out swinging and firing on all cylinders, right? Now, however, I do think the Chiefs get the best of the Chargers like they always do. You know, Justin Herbert's a little cocky when he's playing Mahomes, and because obviously Mahomes said something a few years ago. It was like, yo, whatever. But like, okay, whatever. But the Chargers are, it's like the Jaguars, who they're inexperienced still. So when they play an experienced team like the Chiefs, who have they're damn near in the AFC Championship every year for the past 4 years now. It's gonna show Chiefs win this game, even if it's a close one. Bengals versus Bills. I do think Bills run away with this one. I really wish we got to see this game during the regular season because it would have been like a preview of what could have been an AFC Championship game. But nonetheless, we'll get to see it here. I do think the Bills squeak out a win, barely though. Um, On to the NFC, Giants versus Eagles. Eagles own the Giants. This is, Giants could make this a game, but I don't see the Giants pulling the win out, unfortunately. Eagles advance. Buccaneers versus 49ers. Um, I just think the Niners, we've seen the 49ers dominate this Bucks team earlier in the regular season, so I just think that it's going to end up happening again. It just depends on if Brady's playing like Brady but that 49ers defense is really, really tough to play against. And that leaves us with the AFC and NFC championship games. Bills versus Chiefs on a neutral site. Y'all know y'all seen all that shit. And it would leave the 49ers versus the Eagles. Now, both of these matchups are going to be great if they end up happening, right? Let's start with the Bills versus Chiefs. This will be played on a neutral site in a dome stadium. So if this game happens, we're going to be seeing a lot of football, like a lot of touchdowns, I believe, right? Especially Mahomes and Josh Allen, two of the biggest arms in the NFL. It'd be such a good game. I do think the Bills win this game though. I do. They're playing for Damar with all the shit that happened to Damar Hamlin. They're not gonna be satisfied with anything less than a Super Bowl run. So I just think with that fire underneath them, and what happened last year, it's everything's gonna just come back, and they're gonna barely squeak by the Chiefs to make their first Super Bowl in about 20, 30, 40 years, I believe. Not 20, like about damn near 40 years. So and then now we got the NFC Championship game. We have arguably the best offense versus the best defense in the NFL. Jalen Hurts versus this 49ers defense is going to be a great show to watch. Especially, but if history repeats itself, which I hope it doesn't, we know how this plays out. The defense always ends up getting the best of these top offenses, such as Seahawks versus Broncos a few years ago in the Super Bowl. It's going to show, which is why I'm saying the Niners upset the Eagles to win, to go on and get to the Super Bowl, to face the Bills. And now this Super Bowl matchup would be very interesting, which is why I want to see it. Top defense, one of the better offenses in the league, and with Josh Allen. You know, um, I would love to see it. And if Brock Purdy keeps playing the way he does, especially throughout all these the entirety of the playoffs, I believe this would be such a good game. But as I said before, the Bills are not going to be satisfied with anything less than a Super Bowl win. They definitely, have the team to do it. And so do the Eagles, so do the Niners, so do the Chiefs. But I think the Bills are the most equipped team to win a Super Bowl. And they're the best they've ever been these past few years. And I think if this is not the year they do it, then I don't think they ever will. Which is why I say the Buffalo Bills will be the Super Bowl champions this year. And it's just because, it's not even really just because of the DeMar Hamlin situation, but this team has been on fire all season. They let close games slip by them, yeah. But at the end of the day, this team is gonna be good for a while. But as I said, if they don't win one now, I don't think they ever will. But I do believe the Buffalo Bills will win this year's Super Bowl game. There you have it. That was my end of season overview. Not even really a review. I didn't go into depth overview and my playoff and Super Bowl predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you, like I said, I had an idea that I could go ahead and do a review on each NFL team, how their season went and what they could have done better. If y'all would like me to do that, y'all can let me know in the comments if you do ever comment, I guess. But like I said, thank you for watching. I will be back in a few months to do another video like this, or another video, more videos like my prediction videos after the draft, after the off season, all that stuff. Hope you have a blessed day. Take care of yourself.
Blood don't make you kinfolk. Loyalty is what I send for. No half stepping, only 10 toes. Now life is at a different tempo.